Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ouellet and Santana Sports at our first radio podcast. I'm here. I'm Xavier Santana. I'm here with my buddy Zach Ouellet.
Hello.
Today we're going to just do a quick... so the schedule for us is going to be every day during the week. We're going to do half-an-hour shows, and then on the weekend one day we're going to do an hour-and-a-half show. It'll probably be posted Sunday. That's my hope anyway.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So today we're going to take a main focus on the baseball world. We are going to look a little bit into football, a little bit into hockey. Not so much into basketball today because as far as I know, nothing's really going on.
No, just Team USA stuff, really.
Yeah.
That starts up in a couple days.
Yeah, but I mean like that, we're talking like NBA, we're talking like pro stuff.
Yeah, no, not much.
Next week, however, we're going to go into a little bit of 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds. More 11, 12, 13. Because the Little League World Series is next week. And, quite frankly, it's fun to watch. So
I guess I'll be watching that next week.
Oh, I watch every single one of those games. So, I will take care of that.
Whenever I'm home, that's when I watch.
Yeah. So, first, do you want to start with the Red Sox, or what do you want to start with?
Sure, we'll start with the Red Sox. They're probably the quickest topic we'll get to because of how they've been playing recently.
I mean, so here's the thing with them. They have a lot of the same pieces as they did last year. The core's still there. Mookie, Benny, Bradley Jr. to an extent. Bogey's still there. Bogey's tearing the cover off the ball. Devers, if the Red Sox were good, would be an MVP candidate. Where did this team...
Chavez?
Chavez is on the IL. He's on the IL. He just went to the IL today with an ACL strain or something. Hang on.
He tore it up for a little bit, too.
Yeah, but he was good for like a month, and then he came back down to earth. I was excited for Chavez, but at the same time, I kind of knew, that's going to happen.
Yeah. But, I don't know. With them, it's just some games you'll see them put up 30.
Well, the thing is, the offense isn't the problem. The offense is not the problem.
The pitching.
Exactly, dude. So, Sale, we all know, everybody knows the narrative with Sale. He hasn't been himself. He hasn't been himself since he got hurt last year.
Oh.
And I don't know about you.
How much we're paying.
Exactly, but I don't know about you. But with Sale, I feel like, when he got hurt last year, remember when he first went on the DL in June? And yes, it was the DL at the time.
Yeah, vaguely.
And everybody thought, oh, you know what? The Red Sox are just so good that they're just going to let him sit and rest. Give him the 10, 15 days, whatever. And just, let him come back and do his thing. Skip a couple of starts.
The game where
and then he came back.
100 pitches, right?
But remember he came back again against Baltimore? I think he threw 5 innings and struck out 12, and we're like, okay, Sale's, obviously we were right about Sale. I think we didn't see him for a month and a half. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was...
I don't think he was faking it. I don't think that it was a rest thing. I think he actually hurt himself bad. And I think that Sale is too egotistically proud to say, okay, you know what, maybe I need to sit a season, get whatever the hell it is with me that's wrong fixed, and come back. Because he's eating, I don't know how much he's making, but he's eating too much money.
Speaking about eating money, what about Evaldi? Boy, does he crap the bed.
Yeah, but he also had the injury too, so he might still be trying to find his feet. I excuse Evaldi because, he was out for most of the first half of the year. Guys like Porcello and Sale, Price even, I don't excuse any of them. It's really sad that...
They should go back to playing Fortnite. Seriously.
It's on, I'm looking at the roster right now. It's sad when the Red Sox number 1 starting pitcher is Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, and a couple years ago, everyone was talking about him why is he in the big leagues? He's tipping pitches and all that stuff.
Yeah, and now, well, no, and I'm not trying to knock on Erod because Erod's pitching amazing. But what the hell? You're paying guys $30 million a year, like. Oh.
And
now
it's just like Steve Pierce.
He's on the 60-day IL. He's on the 60-day IL. They just moved him like yesterday.
We paid all these people money because they performed in the playoffs. And
then they
I understand they got hurt.
They shit the bed.
But they're not doing anything.
This team is playing like garbage. You know, it's funny. It's funny. So at the beginning of the year, it was kind of a meme, and it was kind of, you know, this sense of hope that I have because I am personally a Red Sox and Mets fan.
Yeah, I've been Sox since I was born.
I've been a Sox fan. I've been a Mets fan for a long, long time. But I said the Red Sox and Mets were going to play each other in the World Series, and I had a lot of backing to that. The Red Sox had most of that core squad back. Yeah, they lost a couple of bullpen pieces, but I figured, you know what, they'll figure it out because they're a World Championship ball club anyway.
And last year the bullpen sucked.
Well, no, but last year at least we had a closer and we had a guy that could, he'd give us a panic attack, but he'd shut it down. This year, we have. At last I checked, we had almost 20 blown saves. Like, you cannot do that and make the playoffs. There's a reason why this team is so far out. We're 16 games out of the division. We should not be getting blown out by the Yankees that much.
No, we shouldn't be getting blown out by the Angels like we did, 2 nights ago?
That was horrendous. But can we go back? Can we go back to Sale start? Because he pitched 8 innings of lights out baseball. He was insane. 8 innings. What did he have? 15 strikeouts or something like that? 13?
Yeah, so it was up there.
It was definitely
great performance.
It was definitely 12 or 13 at least. And he threw 99 pitches. Like, that was vintage Chris Sale. And the ballgame took 2 hours and 18 minutes. That was the thing. I looked at my phone and it said 9:28, and I was like, what?
I'm still going to bed at a reasonable time.
Right?
So,
but
speaking of reasonable times, the Kansas City Royals game, we really have to make that up. Both teams are way out in left field when it comes to standing, so we have to go watch an inning of baseball.
I know the Royals suck, the Tigers suck. This is... Alright.
So you're telling me on some random Saturday in playoff baseball, you're just going to have the Kansas City Royals and Red Sox come play an off game for what may be 10 minutes of game?
Well, so here's the thing. You have to... Because, remember, Kansas City had to go to, I believe, Detroit. I think it was Detroit. And as it was, they landed in Detroit at 5:30 in the morning, or they got to the hotel or whatever it was. And that's ridiculous, dude. Because they had a 1 o'clock game or 3 o'clock game the next day. So you can't really continue that game. You have to suspend it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you do, because we don't have any more games against the Royals. We already went to KC. They only come to Boston once. We only go to KC once. So, I mean, at least we have that mutual off day, and we don't have to push this, play this, 2 opponents or have a game less than everybody else. Because, quite frankly, the Red Sox need as many games against bad teams as they possibly can get because they suck.
We suck against bad teams and the good teams, so...
Well, I mean, the bad thing about it, I'm looking at the standings right now. You know what their home record is?
Over 500?
Sub 500. They're 30 and 32. They haven't even won half their games at home. That's...
Jesus.
Isn't the whole point of a home game to be, the team that has the advantage?
In your favor? Yeah.
Isn't that kind of the whole... Okay.
Yeah. Go look at contenders, like the Dodgers or the Yankees. I'm sure they're,
Go look at the New York Mets. Okay, and
they've been on a tear.
This is a perfect segue into this. Okay? This is a perfect segue. And this episode's going to be long, I know it. You know what their home record is?
Good.
34 and 21. 34 and 21. They have the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're middle of the pack in baseball.
that's pretty good considering they had one of the worst records in baseball a couple months ago.
They were the fourth worst team in baseball. They were the second worst in the NL, only ahead of Miami. And if you're not ahead of Miami, there's something freaking wrong with your team.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're like the Detroit Tigers. No, Detroit Tigers have 80 losses already. I feel so bad for them.
Damn.
They have 80 losses. They're 35 and 80.
I saw one thing on Instagram where it goes, Rob Bradford has moved the Baltimore Orioles to the Little League World Series, and the winner of that tournament will play in the MLB because they're more competitive.
It's sad. I remember in spring training, and I'm sure somebody can back me up eventually, their AAA team beat them.
No.
Yes, Zach. Their AAA team beat... You know how we play BC and we'll play Northeastern and all them?
Yeah.
Their AAA team beat them.
Well, I can see us losing to BC.
No. We always blow them out. We always blow them the hell out.
I can't think of one time.
How do you lose to a AAA team? They legitimately lost to a AAA ball club. That is sad, my friend. That is sad.
If they really want good TV, go put them against the Girl Scouts or something. That may be competitive.
I know, right? Oh my god. All right. So anyway, back to my segue.
Okay. Back to the Mets.
Okay. All right. Here's some numbers for you. So, July 4th, the Mets were... Or, sorry, not July 4th. June 4th. Mets were one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball. They have since gone on a tear, winning 15 of their last 17. They took 2 out of 3 from Washington. They very well could have taken that third game. The bullpen just... Oh, my God. Edwin Diaz drives me nuts, and Mickey Callaway refuses to move him from the closer role. Put Seth Lugo in the closer role, please, Mickey Callaway. Dude, you have a guy that had an ERA of 0.6 last month. Why the hell is he not the closer? Why? Because Edwin Diaz has been blowing games left, right, and sideways. He looks like he belongs in the Red Sox bullpen.
Yeah, because the Red Sox bullpen were stellar.
Oh, yeah, it's stellar, all right. I mean
that's some Little League World Series quality.
Oh, the Little League World Series could probably... The team from Goffstown, New Hampshire could probably beat the Red Sox right now.
Honestly, maybe.
And they didn't even make Williamsport. Yeah, so Edwin Diaz has 74 saves with a 5.6 ERA.
That sounds amazing.
That's fucking awesome. Meanwhile, Seth Lugo, my guy that I want in the bullpen, in his closer, has a 2.65 ERA, which is not stellar. However, would you rather a closer that has a 2.5 ERA, or would you rather a closer that has a 5.6 ERA?
I don't know. That's a tough one to choose.
Right.
Let me think about that for a minute. I'll get back to you.
On the bright side with the Mets, on the bright side with the Mets, okay. So yeah, they just lost 7-4 to the Nationals yesterday, but as Terry Collins said 3 years ago, very famously, you're gonna get your ass beat. It's gonna happen.
Oh yeah. Well, baseball is one of those sports.
You can't go undefeated. It's not like football. It's not like football where you can go 16-0. I mean, and granted, 16-0 in football is not easy, but you cannot go 162-0. It can't fucking happen. Okay.
And then.
But I think
baseball is the only sport where if you succeed 3 out of 10 times,
you are
more than likely going in the Hall of Fame.
Right. Well, more like 3.5 times out of 10. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't going to get into the nitty gritty.
But so then, the Mets, I think we can all come to a conclusion: the Red Sox are not making the playoffs.
No. Oh God, no.
So the Mets, they're
7.5 games out of a second wild card spot, and 16 games back on the Yankees.
Yeah, and the Mets are only a game out of the NL wild card, and holy crap, they made it look a little interesting.
Yeah, they're one game back from St. Louis and 1.5 back
from
the
Washington.
Nationals.
Like, and they could be, if they won yesterday, they were in a playoff spot, and that's really good, dude. Like that's something special. And I think the rest of, because the rest of this month, this is what they have. They have 3 against the Braves. That's gonna be a tough series in Atlanta.
Oh, they're 8 back on
Atlanta.
8 back on the Braves, and they play them. I think
6 times this month.
6 times this month.
6 times this month, including starting. What's today's date? Starting tomorrow, they play the Braves, and then they play them for 3. Then they go out to KC for what I hope is a sweep. And then the Indians come to town, and the Braves come to town, and then the Cubs come to town. Then we go to Philadelphia. That is going to be a rough stretch.
You guys definitely don't have an easy schedule to the end.
And then you go to Washington. Philly comes to New York. The Diamondbacks come to New York. The Dodgers come to New York. That's going to be a big series. The Mets have to go to Colorado and Cincinnati. Those should be easy. The Marlins come to town for 4 games. That's pathetic.
That's a joke.
That's a joke. If that ain't a sweep, I don't know.
I mean, so this is how the Red Sox went in this past series. I know I'm jumping off track, but we win 2 straight and think, oh, maybe we'll sweep the series. Get blown out, okay, maybe we'll win the series. No, okay, we'll just tie.
and that's been the narrative of the Red Sox all season. You know, they're not.
Like we
the
destroy
thing is,
the Yankees 3 straight games,
and
then
we lose. But we'll take the win in the series, and then we go to Tampa Bay and we get swept. And then we go to New York and we get swept. And it's like, what the hell is this baseball team doing? They took playing Kansas City to win a fucking baseball game.
You know what bothers me almost is the Tampa Bay Rays went from being a joke team to now all of a sudden being a legitimate threat.
Well, you know that they won 90 games last year, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, the progressive that they came, they went from being, like...
They went from being a joke to winning...
Hero.
They went from being a joke for a couple of years after, they went to the postseason several years in a row. They turned into a joke for a year or 2. And then last year... Dude, the only reason why the Rays didn't make the playoffs last year is because the AL was so goddamn stacked. When you have the second... Okay, this is because the AL East was so stacked. So the Red Sox had 108 wins.
When your top 2 teams are both over 100 wins...
The top 3 teams in the league. Top 3 teams in the league. Because the Red Sox were over 100. They had 108. The Astros had 103. The Indians had 91. They won the NL Central because Or the AL Central, sorry, not the NL Central. They won the Central because their division sucked and nobody else was over 500.
But I'm talking about AL East.
Yeah, no, your top 2 teams are over 100. And then, by the way, Oakland's out there in the West quietly winning 97 games. And it's just like...
Yeah, Oakland was a very quiet, scary team.
Where did this come from? And how the hell was Tampa Bay got 90 wins, yet nobody knew that? How did nobody...
really swept under the carpet almost last year.
Yeah, because us in particular, we just murdered the hell out of them. The Yankees sucked against them. The Yankees knew all too well they had 90 wins because I think the Rays got like 12 against the Yankees.
Dude, I wish we could do that to the Yankees.
Yeah, well, we played well at home. Well, if you don't count the London series.
Oh, Jesus.
That was horrendous. Oh, we want to let the Yankees wear the home uniforms too. So, yeah, let's make the Red Sox home for both games. No, you do 1-1. Jackass.
So let's make it so that we go to London, where people don't really give 2 shits about baseball.
And let's take the biggest fucking rivalry, and a team that desperately needs wins right now. Let's send them to fucking London to go play the team that's kicking ass. Let's do that.
I saw one thing where they had to tell fans for home runs and foul balls, you can keep the balls.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was watching on, I think it was ESPN or Fox or whatever the hell it was, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
If you have to tell people that, I know they're used to soccer where you throw the ball back, but come on.
But I mean, I get what MLB is trying to do. Okay?
Yeah, they're trying to expand like what football does, but football's more of a not boring sport. As much as I love baseball,
Well, the thing with football
it's
is
boring.
the thing with football is that they go to London and they've been going to London for a long time. But with football, you can compare football to rugby, and it's
Yeah, it's
more
pretty-
similar than, say, baseball to cricket. Okay?
Yeah,
Remember when the Dodgers and Diamondbacks opened up in Australia? You remember that?
Oh yeah.
This was I think 2014 or something.
But I think Australia is more
Cricket.
accustomed to
They're cricket.
baseball.
They're
and-
cricket, dude. They freaking play cricket. Which, okay, that makes sense. When they go to Japan, like, yes, go ahead, go to Japan. That's fine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because Japan loves baseball, and they're, whatever. It's not like we're gonna put a
That's
team.
like hockey going to Canada. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Hockey
Baseball
already
going to
has half the
Japan.
fucking teams in Canada.
You know what I mean? Like
It's-
having special games in Canada.
Right. It's like if they had the outdoor game in Canada, like, okay, great. But my biggest thing with what baseball's doing is like, yeah, okay, send teams to Mexico City, send teams to Puerto Rico. I love the Little League Classic. I love it.
Yeah, and the World Baseball Classic. Like, those are good.
No, but that's different. Those games don't count.
Yeah.
And plus, those are all in
And then-
America. Those are all in America anyway. But
Well, it's diverse.
right, no, but I know I see what you're saying. But my point is kind of that, like, you can't go to these. So if you want to do exhibition games that in spring training, that's fine. But do
Yeah,
not make these games count, because that's not fair to the teams. It really isn't. And it's not like football where one game, it's just one game. You're going out and you're putting huge fucking rivals in London, and it's just like, oh my Jesus. Like, I understand picking the Red Sox and Yankees, and I get it.
Because those are the two, like,
Those are the biggest rivals in sports.
teams.
Those are the biggest rivals in sports. But I can't find logic in making regular season games in other countries other than the United States, Canada, maybe Mexico or Puerto Rico.
Well, they have a team in Canada, so...
Well, that's what I'm saying. And things like, did you hear about the White Sox and Yankees next year, August 13th?
Yes, I was just going to bring that up.
I love so like
that
things like that. I love that because it's not screwing with time zones. You want to put a game in
literally
Puerto
like
Rico,
what?
you're not
One
screwing
state
with time
over.
zones. You're not screwing with time zones. The thing is that baseball players, and Zach, you and I can confirm this because we played for a while. We're creatures of habit, are we not?
Oh, God, yeah.
Do you for me, I remember when I was playing, I used to listen to the same playlists on the way to the field. Like, I used to, do the same thing with my uniform. And if I was going good when I had my high socks, I was wearing my high socks. If I was going good and I didn't have high socks, well, screw that. I'm not changing nothing. Because I want to do my thing and I want to keep my routine going.
For me, it was zero music. I didn't want any music in the car. I just wanted to be left alone.
And you wanted to focus it. You wanted to hone it. And that's fine. And, and everybody has their different thing. One of my buddies, he used to, those Starbucks, like,